Okay, here we are back with Robert-Rosen. So a boy from Brooklyn falls into this like jackpot of John Lennon information and stuff. And what were you doing before that?
Before that, I was.
What was your dream of what you wanted to be when you?
Well, I was doing what I wanted to do. Except, I was a freelance writer. I was writing for all these different magazines, like Mother Jones, the Soho Weekly News, and I was driving a cab to supplement my income. I had gone out to Hollywood to try to break into TV writing. It was when I came back and I had no job, I had no money, and
then this just like
that was when the John Lennon thing happened. That's
wow.
When, a couple of weeks after I'd gotten back, that's when John was killed.
Wow. So where can people find this book?
It's all over the internet, Amazon, Barnes and Noble.
And when did it come out exactly?
It came out 11 years ago, and
wow.
An Italian edition was just published a couple of weeks ago. It's out, all these different languages. And,
how many, do you know?
About a half dozen languages.
So when another language signs on, do you get like a little residual, like a royalty check?
Yeah, that's how the writing
that sounds good
works.
to me. I like that. So that's good. So you like Italy right now?
Who did the drawing for the cover?
Oh, I forget his name. He's,
So when books say in how many languages, that's always like another check. Is that right?
Oh, well, every time they do one,
that's good.
there's like there's like 12 different editions in 6 languages floating around.
That's great.
It's been really
so Mr.
kind of
Lennon is definitely an angel in your world.
Oh yeah.
And he's watching over you. He's got it. He's watching you like. Every time you look at this book, he's watching you.
It seems that way sometimes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now, not to ever cut John Lennon short, but we have a time thing. And tell me about Beaver Street.
Well, after the diaries were taken and, my authorized biography turned into Rock and Roll Watergate, I needed a job. And I got hired by High Society magazine. I thought it was going to go on for maybe a year or so, but it turned into a 16-year career. And Beaver Street, which was published in the UK a few months ago, it's going to be out here in March 2003. I call it a history of modern pornography because modern pornography began with the computer in 1983 with phone sex. That was the first fusion of erotica and computers, and it really changed everything.
So now, like sexting?
Well, I don't really get into that, but it's just...
It's like, just keeps going another level, right? So what's this about? Is this about phone sex?
Well, it starts out talking about phone sex, and it's just, really my experiences working in the porno industry.
Doing what? What were you doing in the porn industry?
I was a magazine editor, basically, and I witnessed a lot of things, and what was going on too was there was all this political turmoil that I guess the big set piece for the book is when the Attorney General, Edwin Neese, started a porno investigation, and he found that Tracy Lords, who is a big porn star at the time, probably the biggest porn star the world had ever known, was underage for her entire career, and it was like the Meese Commission and Tracy Lords, and I just had a ringside seat for this incredible turmoil. It's a combination of memoir and investigative reporting, and it reads like a comic novel.
Wow! Did you meet Tracy Lords?
I never actually met Tracy Lords. No.
Wow.
I've been meaning to ask what I wrote about bio. Do you know Mike Edison?
He just wrote a book about porno.
Yeah, because he's
also
magazine or something.
I know who he is.
He's also a musician. He has a band. So he's also when he said magazine editor, he's also was a magazine. It's Rew.
Yeah, he worked at Screw. I think the book's about Goldstein, Flint, Hefner, and Luciani.
So what do you think of those guys, the kings of the whole industry?
I think they're very rich. At one point they were very rich. A lot of them had a lot of nerve. A lot of them the ones who I write about too, people like Chip Goodman and Carl Ruderman, who you never heard of.
Sounds like Watergate. Wasn't there Ruderman and Halderman? And,
Yeah,
the Ehrlichman and
all my books are like, kind of like Watergate. This is porno Watergate. This is rock and roll
yeah,
Watergate.
that's what it sounds like. So, what's your take on porn? You think porn has a big future still to this day, or are they trying to stamp it out?
Not a commercial future. I mean, that's the thing that everybody with.
What's up with Big Brother in this country? You think that they're trying to take control of all these industries, and put it?
They're not making money anymore. People are doing it for free because they want to, and anybody with an internet connection and a video camera
and a webcam
can be, a porn star this afternoon.
Well, it's actually
that's
actually
so
true
human
in
nature
technology.
wins. That's
wow.
That's the medium is free. That's awesome.
But it's also technology. Starting, I'll go back to VHS tapes.
Well,
All of a sudden,
it goes back to cave paintings.
Yeah.
That as soon as some new technology comes along, it's pornographers who are the first ones to figure out how to make money off
Yeah,
it.
but don't you think there's always also like there's always that person that's one step ahead that is able to come up with some type of concept to make it lucrative?
In general, that seems to be the case, but at the moment, nobody.
It's like music. Everybody's their own producer. I
Right,
mean, it's
people think that music should be free, and people think that porno should be free.
wow. So I don't want to cut you off, but we need a skeleton from your closet.
I don't put skeletons
It
in my
doesn't have to be
closet.
a secret.
I put skeletons into my books.
So tell us a little excerpt or a little thing in your book of something that happened to you.
Here's a major
Personal.
Here's a major skeleton in the book.
There you
As an experiment in participatory journalism, I wanted to find out what it was like to be a porn star. So I posed for a porno shoot. And you could read about it in a chapter in Beaver Street called The Accidental Porn Star.
And was it fun? Was it all you thought it was?
No, absolutely not.
It was hard work?
It was one of the most humiliating experiences of my life.
Have some cotton candy for that. Sweeten it up. So how do people find you, Robert Rosen, and be your groupie? And
robert-rosen-nyc.com or my Facebook page. Just search me on Facebook, put my name into Google, and put in John Lennon or pornography, and you'll get
oh, I love that. John Lennon, pornography, Robert Rosen. So are you having anything starting in your mind for what's coming up in the next Robert Rosen adventure?
The next book, the working title, is called Bobby in Naziland, and it's about growing up in Brooklyn in the 1950s and the 1960s, and it's about being surrounded by all these Holocaust survivors, and being like 4 or 5 years old, and processing the meaning of the Holocaust.
Wow.
Which is, it's very different.
So what do you think of all these people that say it never happened? I know. I mean, I think it's as crazy as that face you just made as well. But I mean, but there are people like that.
Well, one of them is a conspiracy theorist who thinks I work for the CIA and I ordered the hit on John Lennon. He's also a Holocaust denier. So I've had personal experience with these people, and it's partially inspired by the idea that somebody could think that and put stuff like that on the internet, like it's the gospel truth. It's insane. It's obviously insane.
Well, we will keep you under our wing because I like people with passion, and I can tell you're genuinely an amazing human, and I really feel thankful that you came to visit and shared this, and please come back anytime.
Thank you very much.
And we will protect you on this day of the Angels in the Room with John Lennon and my brother, and D-Day, December. Well, today's not D-Day. I always confuse that. I know it's Pearl Harbor, but whatever. It's a terrible, terrible day of that. But we're all here and we're happy. It's cotton candy day.
Yeah.
All the time, right? All right, we'll be back on more.